Shalom, I'm back. I had to delete the first video for the things happen for a reason. I learned to go for things. Let me start for my usual greeting. Then I begin. Shalom to the bride of the Messiah. Shalom to the 144,000. And shalom to the church of Israel. Shalom. Let me see if it's a way for me to turn my camera around this morning. Okay. Shalom. I guess I'll just put this head thing. The title of this message today, it is directly towards the Israelite men and Gentiles. However, it is a message for all. For the title go on to say, Israelite men and Gentiles, the hurt of Hebrew women, and the trap of Satan. Now notice I put a comma behind that to let you know it's separated. Okay. Where to begin? It started on Thursday. My spirit was so stirred up. It was highly stirred up. And I had to go before my Father. I had to go be type of person and able to put myself in people's shoes. And what I heard on Thursday, I can just feel the hurt and the pain of the Hebrew women. So as I went before my Father, as I meditate on, I could not come on YouTube or social media and give a word about it because it is another distraction from Satan. And I'm going to explain why, my Hebrew sisters, so you can understand these things. Okay? Because don't think I don't feel your hurt, because I feel your hurt. And I feel your pain. The pain of feeling unwanted. I feel that. So, and as my spirit came down, I could not preach or just put a video out there on that topic. All things have to be done according to my Father's will. Right now, I'm going to have, right now, the focus, the objective is getting you to the kingdom of heaven, understanding the mysteries, the words that I had preached unto you from the past week, and the word that would come up in the upcoming weeks, y'all. You will soon begin to understand what it means to be complete, to be perfect, or what the Messiah says, okay? As written in this testimony by Mary Magdalene, the word taught me, I can't remember when, it revealed it unto me, but the word taught me a lot of things, okay? And now the Father is sending the books to confirm what the Spirit taught me. Because right now, he needs Israelites and Gentiles to get to a level where he needs you to be, because we know now we are getting close to the very end. And remember, the Messiah said he is the left and he is tall. And that's where we're at. We're getting close to the tall, to the end. And that end is when the Messiah shall come and establish his church in Zion. And what we have learned from the past couple of weeks, we learned that this church existed before in the days of the sons of Adam. but the people weren't ready. But this time, when he comes back to earth, there will be a people ready that can receive him and the church that he shall establish in the earth. Okay? However, I'm going to give you, my fellow brothers and sisters, especially to you Hebrew women, because what is happening now on social media, they're only giving you a part. They're not coming in the whole volume. They're not showing you how our Father thinks, what is his thoughts, what is his ways on this subject pertaining to marriage. Shalom. So bear with me, y'all. Those who saw the first part, bear with me because I got to go back to what I had given unto y'all this morning. Okay. Now to my Hebrew Israelite women, I want you to know this. Don't think the Father don't see your hurt and pain. He do. Okay. But we got to be patient and we have to hold on. Okay. To the Messiah, get everything in order. I know there are some of you who want to separate yourself from the nation of Israel because of the pain that you have received by your fellow brethren. I understand that. But I need for you to hold on. Okay? I need for you to seek out y'all now more than ever before. Okay? I need for you to meditate on the things that we are seeing presented on social media, because a lot of these things are to be stumbling blocks to the church of the Messiah of Zion. They are stumbling blocks, and you'll see what I'm telling you. Because see, I am so grateful that the Spirit taught me the greater things. Okay? Because if I wasn't taught that, y'all, I would have came on YouTube immediately and gave y'all a piece of my mind. But he who dwelt within me said, restrain yourself, my daughter. Restrain yourself. So that's what I did. I restrained myself. I just began to talk to him and to meditate to him. And my soul, I know my soul was crying out to him and saying, why? Why, Father? Because this hurts. Okay? But I thank y'all for the lessons that we have went over, because now we are getting the great understanding of how to become a pure and pleasing people unto him. Now we're beginning to understand about this heart. And speaking of the heart, this is where we need to go to. Under the teaching of the Spirit, this is where wisdom comes in. When a man takes a wife, here's what the Spirit taught me. The greater mystery, the heavenly message, the wisdom. When he takes a wife, when you go to 1 John chapter 2, for a man who is for a man who is grounded in this new covenant will understand this. When he takes a wife, or when a woman is considering to go on covenant with a man, you should know this. It should not be done out of lust, out of the lust of your eyes, and the spirit of pride should not be upon you. Let me tell you, because when you come in the whole volume of book, and Torah is the foundation of all things, you will understand and you will make sound decision in the wisdom that come in the heavens above. Okay? And I want to read 1 John chapter 2, verse 15 through 17. For it says this, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. See, we need to come in the whole writing the book to understand what are the things that's in the world that the Father do not want us to love. And the Messiah hit on it greatly. And one of his disciples, Mary Magdalene, she expounds on that. She greatly expounds on that. So in this verse, you need to highlight it. And you need to go before your Father and see what are the things of this world that is keeping you from him. Let us keep reading. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Now that's another verse you want to highlight. Because when you go in Torah will teach you how to take a wife. Torah would give you the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding what you should look for in a wife. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you this now. It has nothing to do with her outer appearance. It has nothing to do with what she can bring to the table. See, this is where my brothers fail. This is where they miss the mystery. And this is why there's a lot of marriages out here that are falling apart because it was not built on the right foundation. See, we've been talking about the heart. And another great book that would tie in to this book, which is the 1611, that ties the book of Mary Magdalene. This is the sealed Book of Mormon. Okay. All right. In the video description box is listed videos for you to watch. On the channel, though, you need to click on the playlist that is titled The Church of the Messiah of Zion, the sealed Book of Mormon. Because you're going to understand about this heart that you have now. Your heart is contaminated. It is filled with the things of the world. This is why the spirit of lust is upon you. Okay? Another mystery. So to my Hebrew women, I'm going to give you the books to read because I will not leave you breadless, wordless, because I'm going to give you the whole part. I can't talk about the whole part now because right now, the focus, the objective is the kingdom of heaven, which is the highest inheritance. That is the level where I need to get y'all to be right now. Because I can't focus on this stumbling block because I see what Satan is doing in the church of the Messiah, in the church of the Messiah. And we know that his church is made up of Israelites and Gentiles, bond free, male and female, the circumcised and the uncircumcised, Scythian, barbarian, etc. All of those who receive the Messiah, who is the salvation of Yah, is a member or a part of his body. Okay? So here you so much proof and example. So we're going to start first with our father Abraham. Look at the instructions that he given unto, and the reason why I'm telling you to look at that because you're going to have to begin to understand the mystery or the message that came following with the children of Israel. Let's take a step back further. Read the first and second book of Adam and Eve and notice how, in other words, what's the word I can look for? We'll get straight to the point. Notice how they would take their wives to sisters, but it was a certain way it had to be done. And Abraham gave an example of that. Okay. But in the days of Adam and Eve, notice how they had to marry on that part. And I hope that you understand what I'm saying now, because I'm just trying to get to the highlights so I can get y'all the finer piece of this message. Then the change is taking place because when the nation of Israel is established in the earth, notice how he has given to them Leviticus 18, I believe. It's Leviticus 18 or Leviticus 19, giving them instruction on whom they are marrying. And I'm going to give you the mystery on that. The reason why he gave those instructions that differs from the sons of Adam in his day, because we was marrying within our nation. So there was instructions, or there was an order given unto the Israelites on whom they can marry. Okay, let us keep going. Also, when you read the covenant, notice the instructions that he gives to the tribe of Levi. And this is the part that I'm talking about. Those who are only giving you a part, who are putting in the ears ever, they are only giving you a part. And I'm here to warn y'all. When you look at the tribe of Levi, look at the instructions that is given into Torah unto them, because you're going to see it again in the prophet Ezekiel writings from chapter 40 to 48. I want you to read all them chapters, because Ezekiel give us the blueprint that will take place in the earth, okay, dealing with the nation of Israel when he restored them back to their proper place. This is what I'm telling you. You got to come in the whole volume of the book, because we have our fellow brethren on YouTube running with a part. And because you're running with a part, you are causing your brethren to transgress against Yah. And you are causing your brethren to hurt the Hebrew women, because we're not coming in the whole volume. Okay? Not in the whole volume. We're not coming in that whole volume. Then Torah will also teach you that Moses married what? An Ethiopian. No, another word for Ethiopian is what? Cush. All right. Now, I see some of y'all I see some of y'all on YouTube running with that. Okay. Because when you go into other books, the book of Jaspher will give you the account on why he did that. And notice what take place when he married that woman. This was another woman. This was not dealing with Zipporah. Okay. Zipporah was of the tribe of the Midianites. She was Midian. See, this is what I'm telling y'all. I see the dangers that is happening now on YouTube, because it's causing inner strife in the nation of Israel. It's causing inner strife in the church of the Messiah of Zion, because we're not coming in the wholeness of things. We're not understanding why there are times there are Israelites marrying Gentiles. Okay. Why is that permitted? We got to understand these things. Okay. But yet, as a nation of people, we can't partake in that. We got to understand the gray area. All right. Because we can't run with a part of this. All right. Which lead me to this. When you study tribe is this, how your tribe is determined. Look at the book of Genesis, chapter 10. But the greatest example is Leviticus chapter 24. Leviticus chapter 24. Because when you study the captivity of my people, okay, what was done in Egypt, it would be done again. So I am aware there are some Israelites that will marry Gentiles. We're going to have that in our nation, y'all. And you understand that, to understand why, you got to read the Book of Jubilees. The Book of Jubilees give you the history of what happened to my people when they enter into Egypt. Okay? It gives you the history of that because we can see the same happening now. All right? In this captivity. And I'm not saying that, what's the word that's coming to mind? I'm not saying to you Hebrew women that it don't hurt, because I know it hurts, but I'm telling y'all, there's nothing new under the sun. Okay? They did it then, and they're going to do it now. All right? Some, not for the nation of people, but some within the nation. All right? So, just a recap. Read Torah, the first 5 books. Read the book of Jaspher, which gives the account on why Moses married the Ethiopian woman. Okay. Read the work of Josephus, because it would expound on what happened when one of the Israelites brought a Midianite woman into the camp. Like I said, we got to come in the whole volume so we can understand our Father's ways and thought on things. Okay. And read the book of Jubilees. Okay, because it gives you the history of what happened to my people when they was in Egypt, what they lost. Because see, they lost a lot of things that was taught by their forefathers. Another example we have is Joseph. Same thing. Was he not first a slave in Egypt? Then he married an Egyptian. But here's the warning that I'm giving unto y'all. His children are still Israelite because their father is an Israelite. All right. Now they will have kinship to some of the Egyptian based on their mother household. You got to look at her household. Okay. So they would have kinship to some of the Egyptians. All right. But at the end of the day, they are Israelites. That's how simple this is. Okay. So I'm trying to switch Apocrypha into the New Testament that you need to read to come on, that you need to read so you can get the whole picture and understand why these things came to be. Okay. To understand the Most High ways in all things, because will be done. Okay. All right. Trying to see what else in the Torah that you can look at. Also, Torah would teach you the love and the righteousness. You need to become well studied in Torah because it's going to give you the understanding of what a Israelite man would do with him. What's the word I'm looking for? Let me say it like this. When he take a second wife, it is based on the love and righteousness of Yah. And the book of Ruth give you the greatest example of that, because it goes, okay? That is the only time that a man should allow that thought to come into his heart when he's taking a second wife. Again, it should not be by the lust of his flesh or the lust of his eyes. Do you understand what I'm saying? That Torah give us the instructions of when these things are permitted in the nation of Israel. Also, looking at the book of Ruth, it is another example of why an Israelite is permitted to marry a Gentile. Okay. Again, when you come in the whole volume of the book, when you look at the lineage of Judah, we know he married a Canaanite, but then he married Tamar. When you read, I think it's either Jubilees, the lineage of Tamar. Okay. So we know what was told to Abraham, what the promised seed must come. And when you understand how Boaz practiced the love and the righteousness of Yah based on what Torah teach you, because when you study and when it's revealed unto you, the Spirit would teach you that the promised seed had to come. Again, this is why these things are permitted. Okay. Also, when you look at the book of Ruth, to my Gentile brothers and sisters, it's giving you a message on what you must do when you come to a part of our family. Yes. Remember what the Messiah said. Those that do the will of his Father is his brother and sister. So in the Old Testament, it gives you an example on what you will lose. Look at Ruth. Look at what she forsaken. And it also will show to the Israelites. I'm telling y'all, Israelites, I'm warning y'all, because you have to be careful on what you preach and what you say to the Messiah's church. We cannot be a stumbling block unto his church. Remember what the prophet, I think it's Malachi, we cannot turn the stranger to the left. We cannot turn the stranger away from the Most High Yah. So when we are talking about certain topics, we must come in the whole volume of the book, because if you give a part of that topic, you're going to cause division in the church. You understand? You can cause strife in his church. And right now, the focus is to understand what the Messiah restored unto the church. That is the focus. But we get caught in these traps that Satan set before us, okay? Because of the things that he put in your heart. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm giving y'all just the books to read for yourself, because right now my focus is building the kingdom of heaven. All right. So we talked about Torah, we talked about lineage, because we need to get understanding of these things. We talked about the book of Ruth. Okay. Those are just the highlights. Most importantly, please study about them in Torah and in Ezekiel chapter 40 to 48. See what is said unto them on how they should take their wives. It's very important. Okay. Now, as we go further into the Old Testament, another example is Esther. Okay. Like I said, there are times that our Israelite brothers and sisters will marry a Gentile. And when we come across that as a nation of people, before we condemn or judge, we need to hear what the Spirit say on how that union came to be. Okay? Now, for those who take Gentiles to be their wife or their husband, I say he can see the heart. He know why they do what they do. Let him be. Let him take care of that. Do you hear me, O Church of the Messiah? Let him deal with that, because he can see the heart. He can see the intention on why that brother married that sister. He can see the intention in their heart of why that sister married that brother. Let it be. Keep moving. Focus on the kingdom of heaven and let Yah deal with that. Okay? As we move further along in the Apocrypha, I need for you to read the book of Tobit. Tobit expounds on the instruction, and notice that it's in the days of the prophet Jonah. It comes later. The same thing is said again. For as a nation of people, notice that instructions. Okay. Then as we proceed further In the new covenant, we can see Timothy. Again, when you look at Timothy, again, it shows what his lineage is or what his tribe is. It's a great example. Also look at Titus. Titus is a great example to show when we look at the circumcision. Okay, which bring me to this. We are in the what is now. Okay, and because we are in the what is, the Messiah has given us the instructions that we should perform now until the what yet to come. All right, because when we get to the what yet to come, we're going back to the creator original plan. But right now, here's the mystery. The instructions that the Messiah give unto us has to take place in the heart first. Because once it takes place in the heart, then it can manifest our failing to see, because they're so focused on the carnal things, on the worldly things, that they cannot see what must take place first. Because until that take place first, then you can enter into the second part of what the sealed Book of Mormon is talking about. You will see what I'm saying. So, to cap things to an end in this word, Israelite men and Gentiles, the hurt of the Hebrew woman and Satan trap. For those who decide to talk about marriage and those and whom an Israelite man or woman can marry, I need for y'all to come in the whole volume of the book. Okay? Because when you want to give a part and you boast in that part, you can cause great strife and division, or you can cause your fellow brethren to transgress against the Most High, Yah, especially the Levites. You have to be careful on how you present things, because they are looking at you as an example. Remember, we have a lot of people who are not seasoned in this word, okay? They're not seasoned in it. They are still babes. They are still learning. So you have to be careful on the instructions that you tell them, because there are certain things that the nation of Israel cannot partake in. And the greatest example is looking at the Levites. Okay? So we have to understand how the ways. And when we understand that, then we'll understand the gray area. Okay? The gray area. And we talked about those gray areas. Israelites marrying Gentiles and polygyny. We talked about that. And I have to reinforce this again. Thank you, Father. When you look at those gray areas, you have to go back to Torah. You have to come in the love and the righteousness of Yah. Because when you come in that love and righteousness of Yah, you would know because first it starts in your heart. The thought comes in your heart. You would know whether it's from the devil, that thought, or that intention that came in your heart. You need to go before the Father and make sure it is based on his instructions. It is based on it is not based on the lust of your eye. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying to you. Make sure that you are operating in order with Yah. That's what Torah teaches. Torah teaches the love of Yah and the righteousness of Yah. Okay? Which brings me to the last part. I need to take y'all to Galatians chapter 5. So as I'm going there now to my brothers and sisters who are Gentiles, be careful. Because what I'm seeing going on YouTube, I'm not pleased with it. I'm not happy. This back and forth on these topics, it's not good because they're missing the bigger picture. Okay. Another thing the Father's reminding me of, look at the writing of Paul. Because when those who come into the truth notice what Paul said, let the unbeliever remain. If they want to stay, let the unbeliever remain. So I don't preach you to divorce. Okay. But like Paul say, as an example unto us, if the unbeliever do not want to remain, let them go. For our Father in heaven would not hold you in such bonds like that. Okay. The Father got a great plan, y'all, that's going on. And right now we need to get focused and understand that that this plan that he has that goes against Satan. We got to look at the deeper things right now. We can't get distracted with these stumbling blocks. Okay. Galatians chapter 5. When you go to Galatians chapter 5, I want you to look at, basically read the whole chapter. It's got some good stuff. And it goes back to what things I was saying about this love of Yah and this righteousness of Yah. But I want you to look at what the flesh brings forth versus what the spirit brings forth. Okay. Look at those things. Look at those fruits of the spirit and compare it to the works of the flesh. I'm going to read verse 17 unto you. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. So you have this inner strife within your tabernacle. Your spirit man wants to do the things of Yah, but your flesh wants. So you have these cravings within your flesh. You have these thoughts in your heart, these negative thoughts, these bad thoughts that comes from the devil. Okay. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye, okay. So when you have some time, I want you to read a whole chapter of Galatians chapter 5. To my Israelite brethren, when you are preaching on these topics, I want you to keep in mind whom you hurt. I want you to stop focusing on the parts, and I want you to bring out the whole part now. Because what we need to do as a nation of people, we need to understand the Most High ways in all manner of things. Okay? We need to understand the book of Ruth. We need to understand Rahab, she was a Gentile. So we need to understand our Father ways and thoughts, our Father ways and his thoughts on certain matters. In other words, we need to go before him and say, Father, help me to understand why this was permitted. When I'm reading in your word and it says this, that's what I'm saying to you. We need to go before the Father to get the whole truth of the matter, to get his understanding of the matter before running with things. So to my Hebrew Israelite men, stop boasting. Stop boasting. Because I already seen what happened in some camps who boasted about marriage to a Gentile, and I seen what happened to them. So what I'm saying is stop boasting. Instead, come in his love. Come in the wholeness and not the part. That's what I'm saying. So when y'all read the 1611 Bible, the work of Josephus, Jaspher, and Jubilees, they did what they did. And their testimony is given unto us an example so we won't make the same mistake. Also, when you read, I believe it's the Book of the Mormons that expound on this topic too. You read those too, it will give you understanding. Okay? So when we assemble ourselves together, when Israelites and Gentiles come together, we don't need to mistreat one another. We don't need to have hatred in our heart. We don't need to have that bad thought to come in our heart. You know, looking at that brother and sister and saying, well, why are they together? They don't need to be, you know what I'm saying? We don't need to be focused on that. We need to be focused on the things that will get us to the kingdom of heaven. All right, y'all, I said enough. Shalom.